Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is October the 14th, 2021, Thursday of the 28th week of the year, the 28th week in Ordinary Time. Coming to you from the front side of the old log cabin through the pine trees that surround it over here on the little parking lot that leads over to the Great Magnolia Circle. On this Thursday of the 28th week, we continue to hear from Romans, in which Paul now gives the justification, continuing now for bringing the message to the Gentiles, again to the Romans, themselves, and basically showing that it is not necessarily about doing works that would have been associated with Judaism, like sacrifices and everything like that. It is now by faith alone that the Gentiles are welcomed into the Christian community, are welcomed into the new Christian movement that has been inspired by the death resurrection of Jesus Christ. And so, waiting for the plane to pass. Very loud today. Again, Paul makes the statement again that many of the reformers would use against the Roman Church when the Reformation happens in the 16th century, in that it is not about basically all these traditions and all these other tapestries and all kinds of other things that had become associated with faith, but that it was by faith alone that one comes into an understanding of Christ, understanding of God's relationship with us and our relationship with God, into the Christian community. So Paul lays the groundwork, for focusing in on that. It is something that, unfortunately, over the Middle Ages, the Roman Church loses sight of and begins to focus more upon what is done than upon the faith that comes as a gift from God to us, that enables us to become a part of the life of God. In Luke's gospel, we continue again at that terrible, awful dinner party in which Jesus begins to, lay flat or whatever the Pharisees with whom he is dining by continuing to offer them several woes for the things that they are not doing. The bottom line of that is the final lines that Jesus gives about that the Pharisees had the key to knowledge about God and about ourselves and about what it means to be in relationship with God and what it means to be a part of the life of God, and yet they kept it to themselves, and they didn't want anybody else to know about it for fear of losing their own power, authority, influence, what have you. And that is a great injustice and a great evil that will bring woe to them, Jesus says. Jesus leaves that dinner party. We don't know if he ever ate anything or how, in what way he left it, in a huff or anything else like that. But he leaves that dinner party, and now the Pharisees become enemies towards him and antagonists toward him, in finding ways to trip him up or to entrap him, and then that will eventually lead to them wanting to plot, to eliminate him altogether by putting him to death. Again, why Jesus decided to open up this harangue against the Pharisees is always not necessarily clear, because he accepts the dinner invitation, and did he accept it in order to, lay them flat, or did he accept it in order to be able to dialogue and converse with them? Because there doesn't seem to be any conversation at this dinner party. There is just all of these woes that is leveled upon them, and then a leaving of the dinner party. We don't know much about what happened there, and so it's hard to make any hard and fast judgments as to what was going on. But the necessity of being open, to what the Word of God is telling us and to be challenged by it is all a part of the gospel message. And it's all a part of what it means to become a part of this great Christian movement and a part of the life of Christ. If we are unwilling to face the challenges, if we are willing to see those things which we try to hide or desperately, cover up or cover over, then we will not be enriched by this life of Christ. We will not be enriched by this Christian message, and it will be very difficult for us to continue on with the Christian movement. To be able to face these challenges and understand ourselves more fully is the way that God then tries to open up our lives to what is more and what God is offering to us that is more in our world and in our lives. May we never be afraid of being able to embrace that. May we never be afraid of seeing ourselves as God sees us, so that more hope and more life may be given to us. May the Lord give you his peace.